Hey guys, it's Holly and I'm here with the final LEGO Harry Potter review for the summer 2021 wave. So if you haven't seen the rest of the reviews, I will leave them linked in the description down below, as well as the kind of end card here. And today we're taking a look at probably one of the most kind of conflicting sets, I want to say. I feel like either people love it or people hate it, and that is the Buildable figures. Now, if you guys didn't know, I actually have like a 3D printed version of my sig fig, which is very similar to this. However, of course, it is 3D printed and not brick built. So it was really interesting to kind of see LEGO branch out into that area with their own brick built figures. But what I think is more interesting is the fact that they did do kind of a dual pack for $120 rather than doing a kind of separate pack where the figures are $60 each and you can kind of pick and choose which one you want. So like I said, these do retail for 120 US dollars or 200 Australian, and they look pretty neat. I really think these are better in person. I know kind of the original photos upon release, they did look a bit terrifying to me, I'm not going to lie, but once I built them and kind of seen them in person, they look a lot better, and especially with Harry, there's quite a lot of motion you can actually have. I've also seen Emma Soros kind of make Hermione into her own sig fig, which I thought was incredible. So if Hermione or Harry looks similar to you, like if you've got glasses because Harry's scar is a separate piece, or you kind of look like Hermione and have similar hair, I really feel like you could do that customization option. So starting off, let's have a look at Harry. So first up, we have Harry Potter, and honestly, when I first saw the photos out of the two of them, I wasn't too excited for him. I think just in the renders, this cloth piece looked really ridiculous for his kind of robe, but in person I like it a lot more. However, it was folded in the bag, so there is a giant crease down the back and the sides. I'm honestly thinking of maybe trying to iron that to get it out. But overall, the design of Harry looks really good, and I think a lot of people really want him in this set. I feel like if it was Ron and Harry, maybe this set would be a bit better, because I just feel like Hermione, just with no cloak, it looks quite boring. I wish she had a robe on as well, but even these robes, I feel like it's not quite robe-esque, it's just a sheet of cloth. But I think I definitely prefer him. And another big thing for Harry is that you can move his head around. Technically you can with Hermione as well, but because of the way her hair is built, you really can't move anything. So all that mobility is really awesome to see. As well with the arms, you can rotate them practically all the way around, almost just like a regular minifigure, and even the wrists as well rotate 365 degrees as you'd expect. Like all of these parts have a lot of Technic joints. There's a tiny bit of friction on Harry because of kind of the cloth and how you've got to stick it in between his arms, but nothing too major. You can still move it around really easily and even detach the wand off his hand, although I did that very badly and just detached his entire hand. But as you can sort of see, it does clip into the back of it there using one of these pieces here. Let me just stick Harry's hand back on. And there you've got his little wand. So potentially as well, you could get a bunch of different accessories and kind of even build your own, I guess, like even the Philosopher's Stone, for example. You could build your own and make Harry hold it and just kind of use that same build. The build for the wand is okay. It's not extremely detailed, although I do wish Harry's wand used dark brown instead of reddish brown for the top, considering he has a dark brown wand in the set. I get the black at the bottom since his wand in the movies does have the black at the bottom, but I would have loved to see this entire top section be in dark brown instead. But nevertheless, I think it looks really good, and you can hold that in either hand if you want to. Harry as well also has full range of motion with his legs, with everything swinging back and forth. You can make it look like he's walking, and even like a real minifigure, there are holes at the bottom of his feet, so you could stick them on giant studs potentially if you wanted to. These legs as well, just like a real minifigure, can be detached. However, you can see kind of how that's built in on there with the white, and then you've kind of got that little gap in the torso there as you can kind of stand up. So potentially, if you had a bunch of different figures, you could actually swap out the legs and the torsos and everything on these figures, and even same with the heads, to be completely honest. If you really wanted to, you could swap Hermione's head over, although I don't know how well that would work with the kind of robe piece. So I see kind of why now that they didn't actually do that and did her a jumper instead. Speaking of the torso though, I love this giant printed panel piece for their uniforms. I think it looks adorable, and same with the use of the bricks as well at the bottom to create that little band at the bottom. Having a look at Harry's head as well, you can see he looks very happy. He's got the exact face of his younger minifigure, which looks incredible, and there is a separate printed slope piece for his scar, which is poking through his hair, and his hair is amazing as well, with a lot of texture and detailed and kind of curved pieces and slope pieces and tiles and everything like that. It just looks amazing, and you really get the minifigure shape out of this character, which I really didn't expect them to kind of hit the nail on the head as well as they did, especially looking at the photos. Everything looked a bit dodgy, but Harry in real life looks so much better than that photo. Like, do not judge the set by those photos. Next up, we have Hermione, and she is very cute as well with just a plain grey jumper. I do prefer the robe to Harry though. I think it just looks so much better, but mostly I think that comes down to the fact that his legs are completely black, so technically I could swap this out really easily, or even just swap out the bricks here to get rid of that grey, because I see what Lego's really tried to do. They've tried to make it look like she's wearing a skirt, but it really didn't work. I feel like if they tried somehow to get a cloth piece to kind of hang over, maybe it would be a bit more successful, but just the black, the grey and the black doesn't really suit, especially when the figure in real life, like the actual minifigure, has just plain black legs. Just like Harry as well, she does come with a wand, this time in the correct colouring, that being that dark tan, which actually has a brand new kind of dark tan pumpkin at the bottom, which I thought was pretty cool, especially since kind of the hilt is all built differently. And just like Harry, her hands rotate all of the way, her arms rotate, I mean not as much as Harry because of the hair, and her head can rotate, but the fact that it's kind of built on with her hair that drapes down the front and back means you can't actually rotate it, even though the functionality technically is there. Just like Harry as well, she does have that giant printed panel on the front and a really nice face print. I love how these look. I just can't wait to see them do hopefully some other figures, because I think it looks really nice, and I can't wait as well to get Ron to match along with these figures. I just think they would look adorable. Admittedly, Hermione's not my favorite out of the two. Like, she's cute and all, but like I said, I wish the legs were kind of black. Even her hair, I wish it was kind of just a bit more curly. I don't know, it definitely accurately represents the hairpiece. There is no denying that at all, but it's just a shame because you can't rotate it because of that hairpiece, which I guess is the same as the real minifigure, but then when you look at Harry, it really takes down the functionality, and for a jewel pack, I feel like Ron with a head that would have been able to rotate would have been much better value here. So overall, I do really like these figures. I think 200 Australian though was a bit of a stretch for me. I think they look really sick, but they were quite expensive. Although I do know that Kmart and Big W and places like that are selling them for cheaper. So, you know, if you can take that option, I would highly recommend it, because I feel like, yeah, the value is going to be amazing then, because these just look really sick, and I hope to see some more of these in the future, specifically with like Anakin and Obi-Wan and Darth Vader, Woody, Buzz, Mickey and Minnie. I mean, technically they did recently do kind of a Mickey and Minnie of this, but I mean like minifigure Mickey and Minnie. Even Winnie the Pooh and Piglet I feel like would be awesome. There are just so many different versions. I'd love to see sort of a sub-theme of this, kind of like the Brickheads, because I think these are really cute and they look amazing. And like Emmasaurus, it would be awesome if you could customize your own one. I know she was talking about having it kind of like the customizable Brickheads, like the Go Brick Me or the Bride and Groom. I personally as well would love to see that in the future, so hopefully Lego does something like that. But at the same time, I know that people are kind of steering away from this. They're seeing this as a, okay, I won't get this, I'll just save some money. Some people have called them kind of creepy. I think definitely in real life these are a lot better, and I wish the Lego stores would put them on display, because I feel like that may sway some people's opinions. Overall, I feel like I'd have to give this an 8.5 out of 10. It's definitely not a must buy, but it is a really neat set at that. But let me know what you guys think of this set in the comments down below. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel down below. And until next time, I'll see you later.